6. All right, so before we proceed to the week 3 and 4, let's go over week 1 and 2 first. So does anyone has a question or clarification so far under week 1 and 2, especially with the lab 1 and lab 2? Just wait a second. Let me just close the door so our dog is kind of noisy. Okay, there you go. Question. Or any clarification? So for Mr. Haggerty, maybe you're saying that he doesn't have a question. If you guys don't have a question, just give me a quick thumbs up just to let me know that everything's good already. Okay, under week 1 and 2. Hello? Quick thumbs up. If you have a question, ask it now. You can use your mic and use our chat box. How to measure in LT spice? Have you already have you already watched this tutorial? After the resistor, you cannot measure. Okay, so I think that is one flaw of of our LT spice. We cannot measure it. For example, say we have 5 volts right here. We have 1K and then another 1K. So you can only measure a voltage after, okay, or if it's within the line of the voltage source. So for example, here and then here, okay. You cannot measure the voltage right here anymore if it's already after let's say a resistor or a capacitor. So what you will do, say 5 milliseconds. So you can measure it right here. Let's see 2.5 volts, and then here is negative 2.5 volts. But we cannot measure it here anymore. Okay. So what we can do is we can only measure the voltage across this R1 and let's say after the R1. So click right here. Let's say this node right here, and then do not release the left click button yet, and then say measure the voltage across this R1. Just point it right there on this node right here, and then remove your left finger. Okay, release it right. Okay, so you'll see right here that it has a measurement of 2.5 volts. So similar with this one up here. So it will give you a 2.5 volts. So here is the 2.5 volts. We have another one which is also 2.5 volts. Okay, and then you can also do this one. You can measure the entire or the two volt, the voltage across R1 and R2. Okay, that will give you a 5 volts measurement. So that this one is for the red one from this point up to this point, 5 volts. So that's it for the voltage. Well, of course, if you're going to solve the voltage right here, it's still 2.5 volts. Okay, because it will pass through this 1K. It's already half of it. Okay, so considering that we only have one voltage source, and then we have a total of 2K ohms, so it will be divided into 2. Okay, so it's 2.5 volts here, 2.5 volts here, 2.5 volts here. Actually, anywhere it's 2.5 volts. Okay, since we are in a series connection. Okay, so again, you can only do this one to measure the voltage across R1, but not after the R1. Okay, so you'll not be able to measure anything. Okay. So the only thing that you can measure here is a current. Okay, just hold your Alt and then we'll give you a current right here. So current for this beside the R2 and then the current beside the R1. Okay, so we have a green one for this one and then a blue one for this one. Okay, so for the green one, as you guys can see, we have negative 2.5 milliamps. Why? Because we have here, let's say, a source from negative to positive. Well, on the other hand, we have here from positive to negative. That is why we're having a current of 2.5 milliamps. So depending on your, the polarity of your source. But in LT-SPICE, we're considering which one is, whichever is nearest. Okay, that is what it is considering as its source. Okay, negative right here and negative right here, and then positive right here, and then another positive right here. So I hope I was able to answer your question, Mr. Derek. Okay. Any other concerns before we proceed to the week 2? I mean week 3 rather, not week 2. This is already week 1 and 2. Questions or clarifications? Again, if none, give me a quick thumbs up. It's 2, it's 3, 4, 5. What about the others? 6. Okay, it's good that this 40% of you were responded. Okay. Anyway, to the others who didn't respond, just let me know if you guys have a question. Okay. Now let's move on now to the week 3 and 4. So last week, I let you guys do this one in or at UZ in school. Let's just go over. Oops, not this one. Let's just go over to the lab number 4 real quick. So for your task for this week is to do the simulation part. There's one letter A simulation using LT-SPICE. It's 1 to 11. Okay, so you can do everything on the LT-SPICE from number 1 to number 11. Okay, there will be no problem. But at letter B, okay, so once you guys are done, let's say your group are already done up to number 16, okay, you guys are already done at the part B, okay, on the real device testing. You can just simply skip the number 17, 18, and then 19. But we'll see, okay? So I will check first if we can do the 18 and 19, but I think it's kind of difficult. So you guys will know what to do once we are meeting again on face-to-face next week. But yeah, this will be the only laboratory that we're going to have a limited face-to-face for this or before your midterm exam, okay, for your midterms. So for your next laboratory, for your limited face-to-face laboratory, so I don't know yet. I'm not sure which one I will convert. So it could be lab number 6 or lab number 7, or it could be the lab number 8. Right? Okay. So I will still have one more laboratory before your midterm exam. So your midterm exam will be on June 21, I guess. There's no due date. There's no date yet, so let me just check my calendar so I can update. Update the dates for your midterm exam and final exam. So wait a second. That one. So for the Tuesday, could be on June 21. June 21 and And this one, it's just the August 3 for now. So I'm not yet sure with your with the date of the final exam, but let's just say August 3 for now. If not August 3, then that would be August 4. If not August 4, then that would be August 6. Okay. So it's like we still have 4 weeks from now, okay, less than 4 weeks. And you guys now only have one laboratory break to do after June 1, okay, or after May 31 rather. Yeah. So June 1 will be this laboratory number 5. Okay. So next week we'll just finalize everything in lab 4. So we will review, okay, and or maybe we will do the number 18 and 19. So that still depends. But yeah, this is already the or we were only going to have one laboratory for your limited face class. Okay, and then the rest will be done online. Okay. So are we clear so far regarding with the with our setup? So let me just show this one to you guys, because I was actually planning to convert this one into a limited face-to-face laboratory. However, the difficult part in here is that we have 4 voltage sources. Okay, and just wait a second. Kita? Siguro ingat po. Okay. So the problem here is that of course I'm not just sure if it's safe, especially that we're going to use 4 different power supplies. So I will still need to confirm this one to Sir Marcelo, our custodian, if we can do this one, wherein we have the source right here and then another source right here and then another source right here and then another source right here. Okay. So we'll see, okay, if this is possible to convert into a limited face-to-face laboratory. If it's possible, then we can have this one as your, finals limited face-to-face laboratory. But if not, then maybe I will just check the lab number 6 or 7, whichever one that we can convert into limited face-to-face laboratory. Okay. Well, anyway, so I'll just update you guys next week, since we still have a week from now before your limited face-to-face again. And next week, we're only going to deal with lab number 4. Okay. And after that, I can go home already. And yeah, lab number 5 will be done for the entire 3 weeks before your midterm exam. Okay. So even though you guys are already done with the simulation part of this one, if we can convert this laboratory into limited face-to-face laboratory, then we will have the part B, okay, let's say for the first week of finals or second week of finals as your limited face-to-face laboratory. So we're going to verify the Maxwell loop using an actual device. Okay. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for today. What about lab number 3? Does anyone has a question about lab number 3? I think it's the easiest laboratory. So in here, you're just going to verify the 3 formulas. This one, this one, and this one. And we only have 6 questions right here. Well, actually, it's 5, okay? Because the 6th one is just a conclusion of yours, okay, from step 1 to step 5. Okay, this is super simple trick. Just verifying those formulas, okay, if they are the same with each other. So are we clear so far? Does anyone has a question under week 3 and 4?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, during while doing lab number 2, question number 3, wala pong lumabas na con. Parang nung ano pa tawag nito? Tinest ko, sir, dun sa number 3. Yung measure the current here, sir. Nung chinek ko po yan kat walang lumabas.
How come? We can actually measure the current anywhere. The only thing that we cannot measure here, well, actually, we can also measure the voltage here since this one is connected to negative source. Are you sure that there is no current? Okay, let me just delete this one and connect this one. So we just hold Alt. Okay, let me remove this one first so that I can show you that the measurement for this one is 2.5 milliamp. Is it? No. Wait a second. This one should be 5 milliamp. There you go. We now have here a 5 milliamp. So just hold out. You can actually measure it anywhere, especially if it's current. For the voltage, just double click.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Maybe may mali lang na steps na nagawa. Okay, anyway, any other concerns? Yeah, just hold out. Hindi ko pa na, was I not able to teach that one here? How about the out? Yeah, so I wasn't able to show you guys how to measure a current. Just hold out, or well, we have a complete guideline here. Alti guide. This is a good PDF, especially if you don't know how to use AltiSpice. It will teach you the shortcuts, RTG, C, R for resistor, C for capacitor, etc., etc. And then, this part, where is that one? Here, you can follow this tutorial number 1, exercise for AltiSpice, step-by-step analysis of a simple transistor amplifier. Okay, we have 15 steps, and then the steps for simulations, and then for the AC analysis, and then we have another tutorial here, which is for a passive circuit. Well, this one is about AC already. Okay, but overall, it will teach you how to use the AltiSpice. Okay, and if this is not enough, you can always visit the YouTube. We have a lot of tutorials out there on how to use AltiSpice 17. Or you can just simply as it right now, so that you don't have a problem anymore. Okay, so you can check my video, okay, which is not not that complete, or you can check this one, the human end, Anand, or you can just check this one. This is the most famous tutorial that came from Mr. Fest. This guy is really an expert when it comes to using an AltiSpice. Okay. So this will teach you the basics. This one, AltiSpice tutorial episode 1, getting started from or by Fest Electronics. Okay. For the power, I think I also wasn't able to show the measurement of power. But for the power, just hold out also. So you can measure the power of your voltage, okay, power across the board voltage, and then the power across the R1. Okay, so we have here a 25 milliwatts, negative 25, and then we also have here a 25 milliwatts, of course. We only have one power that is circulating under this relay. Okay. So this is the symbol for power, temperature. Okay, so in here, I don't also know why this one is negative 25, but if you have a polarity from, if it's clockwise, then of course this one is 25 milliwatts. But if it's counterclockwise, then this will give you negative 25 milliwatts. So any other concerns? Oops, not that one. Yeah. Questions before we end our meeting for today. So don't forget to answer
Wala na po, sir.
also. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Renato. So don't forget to answer the case study number 2 also. So of course, you'll be given a facts and then a question. Okay. So yeah, that's for today's meeting. If you guys don't have a question anymore, blessed day to all of you. You guys may go now. Okay. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, may PM ako, sir.
May PM ka. Okay. Facebook?
Sir Demnel.
Yes? Natanong ko kung sa
Sir,
Facebook.
may PPM pa ako, sir.
May PPM ka pa lang? Sure, sige lang.
Apa.
Huwag ka na magpaalam, mag-PM ka na lang.
Sige po, sir.
Alright.